name is Martin, and today we're going to talk about purchasing a drum. There's many things that you should consider before purchasing a drum. Like either you want to go with a hardwood djembe, or if you want to go with a nashiko. This one are the ones that I make. They're made out of softwood, a lot lighter. So I'll give you a little more details on this. Now let's start with the djembe, the female drum. This is made in Africa, of course hardwood, and it's heavy too. You know, whatever you get, as soon as you buy one of these, you can feel it, and they're heavy to carry around. But what you gain in the structure, you also gain in sound, because the sound is going to project this hardwood, especially if it's in one piece, it's going to isolate the sound very well, and it's going to set it straight out. You know, if you're playing like outside, and like in a drum circle, this is probably the drum that I would recommend to go and get. Right? It's nice and solid, and it's good. Again, you're going to hear the bass from a couple of blocks away for sure. Softwood, you're still going to have the same bass, but it's going to be a little bit softer. You know, it's with softwood. What happens is that the vibrations is going to be absorbed, right? Because it is softwood. You know, it's natural. It's going to be absorbed, and the sound's not going to be project out. It's going to go inside the wood and then out a little bit. So you're still going to have a pretty good bass. You know, both of them, they both have a good bass. Hopefully you can hear the difference between both of these, right? Right? But then again, if we talk about like your slaps and your tones, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. And of course, again, like I said, what you gain in like structure and strength, you gain also in weight. So these two would be the equivalent of one of these. So if you do decide to buy a djembe, especially hardwood, make sure you have a good backpack. You know, take care of your back, because it's only good to carry it around for short distances. If you got to go down like 5 or 6 city blocks, you might want to reconsider. But again, you know, it's up to you. It's just little things that I want to like throw out there. The second thing that I like to look at is the finishing on top. You know, most djembes have this kind of finishing, which is kind of all white. What I like to do personally is to leave the fur on, so that you can take a look at the goat. You know, what goat was used on it. You know, they all have different colors, textures, thicknesses. Like this one, you can see it's black. This one is black with, white with black dots on it, right? Especially all right around where the back of the goat right here. You know, it's all different. It's really, really different. It gives it a nice look. This one is more like brownish, grayish color, kind of like wolf wannabe, right? And of course, you also got your Pakistani skin. Right? It's going to give you a different sound and style of playing too. So I'll cover that later on. So that's the goat skins. Now the lacing, that's another thing too. Please make sure that you check out the lacing on it. Make sure it's got a nice solid rock climbers lacing on it. You can feel it as soon as you start, like, you know, looking into it and just touching it, right? Because that's what you really want to look for, because that's what's going to pull the skin down and hold it nice and tight. You don't want to have like a shoelace kind of lacing, and then it's not going to hold your sound very well, and it might even break, or it's so fine that it's not really worth it. You know, it's really good to have a really good lacing on it, and even if it starts to wear out, consider changing it. Just go for it. You know, it's not really that expensive. And that covers the lacings, and now I'm going to talk about the shape of the around up here, right? My drums, I like to have them rounded a little bit, so that when you hit it, it doesn't have a sharp corner. And now I'm going to show you this one, and you'll see what I mean. Alright, so if you take a look at this drum right here, you'll see exactly what I mean about the edges. See this one, how square it is, right? You don't want that. Well, you try to avoid that. It's not that you don't want that, but you want to try to avoid that. Because what happens is that, especially with beginners, we are tempted to go and hit it this way, especially if we want to get our slaps. Because the tone, you know, you go like this. The slap is kind of like whoosh, right? A slap, really like a whip. Boom. Your focus is on the end of your fingers, and that sometimes could be a pain, because if you don't hit it properly, you hit it right here, you might like pop a vein around here, and then you gotta put ice on it and put a couple of, or like, I don't know, take care of your hand, you know, and you want to avoid that, right? You want to get it right there. Right? right? So that's one thing to consider, is this little part. So that's why what I like to do is I round mine up, like they're right around the rim. So it's a little bit more round, right? And it's got the fur too. So when you hit it, and if accidentally something happens, God forbid, you hit it, you at least have a little bit of a padding going on around, right? It's not too square that's going to bruise your hand, and it's good. That's why I leave these on around your drums that you purchase from me. So that would be another thing to consider, right? And also, when you take, this one is not bad, but see how many of these little loops there's all the way around? So this one is not too bad, but some of them, they have these loops, but they have just as many at the bottom. So these lacings, they have like tons of them. It's a good, nice feature, although when it's time to either fix your drum or you want to tune it, you have to do that many more all the way around, and it's okay, but it's just that it's more time consuming, and especially if you're gonna get it fixed or anything, or maintain, or you bring it to like a drum repair shop, it's gonna cost you way more. But again, you know, it's aesthetics, you know, it looks good, looks sharp. Make sure that the person that takes care of your drum cleans all the around, right? So it's all nice and crisp, right? Always pay attention to detail. Okay, so those are the couple of things that you want to consider, right? And I think this is the most important one from them all, is that you like the drum that you want to purchase. You know, try a bunch of different drums. Try Gentis, try Ashikos, try like different skin types, right? Try different sizes. Some of them are bigger than others. If you're a tall guy, a big guy, get a big drum. You know, you're gonna get your harmonics or your slaps way better than if you go for a smaller one, right? And of course, if you just want to just carry them and, you know, play with different sizes, you know, that's fine. But if you're gonna have like one main drum, you want to make sure that you purchase a drum that it doesn't just sound good, but it looks good too. Something that you're going to be attracted to. Say, hey, I want to go and play that drum, right? Because if you're not really attracted, it's like food. It doesn't necessarily just need to like smell good. It has to look good too. You know, when you look at it, it's like, I want to go and have like something to eat, or like a good mango or whatever. Same thing goes for your drum. You know, it's got to be, you got to be attracted to it. And the more love you put into your drum, the more of that love you're going to be able to expand and throw out there, right? It's, you know, you give and take, right? It's the laws of attraction. You know, it's drumming, it's everything, right? It's not only just drumming, it's got to feel good. So play different drums, you know, feel them, you know, listen to the sounds that they produce. Listen to the crack that once you start like playing like with these, right? They're all gonna have their, right? And this, again, these are my favorite ones to play with. I don't know why. Right? You have that nice, good sound that comes out. Right? Probably because I've been spending more time playing this drum than I've been playing this one. That's probably why I'm more attracted to this one. And so yeah, so just keep that in mind, right? And just make sure that it doesn't just like sound good, but you feel right about it. Okay, that's really important, because this is your drum and you're going to spend a lot of time with it. So you want to make sure that, you know, both of you work together, right? It's not only just a drum and just you, it's both of you. So yeah, that's pretty much it regarding drums itself. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Send me an email. Either visit my website or just go on my Facebook account too. I also have Aztec Drum there. Just pop in there quick questions. Hey Mark, you know, what's going on? Or I have a question about this kind of drum, what would you suggest? And I'll be more than happy to give you advice about it. You know, just go out there and get a good drum, right? Because, you know, the better it looks, the better it sounds, the better you're going to be able to express yourself. And people will see that. People will definitely see that. Okay? So enjoy your shopping.